WHAM Rochester, this is 13 Wham News at 5.
Good afternoon. Millions of new mothers may soon be asked a question that until recently rarely came up.
That question, whether to save blood from the umbilical cord. The blood can save lives, yet many doctors and patients know little about the process. New York state lawmakers have already acted, and Congress could soon, meaning the cord blood question would be a routine part of pregnancy. 13 Wham's Holly Maynard tells us how this procedure saved one boy's life and why we might hear more success stories soon.
Okay, let's go. Churchville, boys.
1, 2, 3, Churchville!
Let's go, guys!
Tony Wagner seems just like one of the guys. You'd never know by watching him on the soccer field that friends and family once doubted he would be alive today to play.
And I tell everybody, he's my miracle baby.
5 years older.
His hair.
In 1998, Tony was diagnosed with leukemia. Instead of spending his days in kindergarten like most kids his age, he was in the hospital, trying treatment after treatment. Chemo didn't work, and he couldn't get a bone marrow match in time.
He wasn't going to make it unless we did something quickly.
That's when doctors at Strong decided to do something they had never done before. Give Tony a transplant from blood found in umbilical cords. That worked. Usually the umbilical cord is discarded at birth, but it is sometimes saved. That's because it is a rich and non-controversial source of stem cells, which can rebuild the immune system of people with a number of diseases. Bone marrow transplants work only in specialized matches. Cord blood transplants have a much better success rate. And while it is painful to be a bone marrow donor, it is not to be a cord blood donor. Some families pay to store the umbilical cord blood for their own family's use. Others choose to donate it for free to a number of blood banks across the country. They just send away for a kit like this, then give it to their doctor to collect the blood after birth. The procedure just takes about a minute, and the option has been around for years now. But still, many doctors and expectant parents know little about it. Dr. Jim Woods, the chair of obstetrics and gynecology at the U of R, says he has only done about 10 transplants in the 9 years the hospital has done the procedure.
The education hasn't been as good as it can be. I think that the value of cord blood will become much more important as the biology continues to grow.
A study published in the Journal of Reproductive Medicine found just 14% of expectant parents have heard about umbilical cord blood banking. But that could change soon. The federal government has been working on legislation to create more educational resources for parents and more blood banks across the country. And just a few months ago, New York State passed similar legislation. Legislation that will help patients like Tony Wagner.
I don't really think about what happened, and I just move on and see how I'm feeling each and every day.
And today, he's feeling great. Despite taking some hormone injections, Tony says he's like any other teenager. A success story of how one new life can save another. In Chilai, Holly Maynard, 13 Wham News.
Now, there are some possible disadvantages to storing the umbilical cord blood. Dr. Woods says although the procedure is quick, it might be difficult for busy doctors to collect the blood when their primary focus is the health of the mom and the baby. And it's not yet clear how long the blood can be stored before it stops being productive. Now, new storage centers for the blood are opening in Pittsburgh and Cleveland this fall, as well as other cities.
They are the latest thing in